Countdown to Halloween 2023. Halloween is finally here. Thank you for joining us this year on Storylink Radio's YouTube channel. If you have not already, be sure to subscribe to the channel and visit our website where you can watch and listen to this year's countdown as well as hundreds more free audio stories. You've helped us make this a really special season. Happy Halloween, everyone! And now, tonight's presentation from Storylink Radio. Nightmare on Sugar Dome. Cody groaned as he rolled over in bed and looked out of the window. That was a perfect day. The air was clear and the morning sunshine made the deep layer of snow on the ground sparkle. In the distance, Sugar Dome, the state's finest ski area, was gleaming in invitation. Cody looked at the book bag on the chair next to his bed. Why do I have to go to school on a day like this? He grumbled aloud and tunneled down under his comforter. Maybe you don't have to, a little voice in Cody's mind suggested. Peeking out from under the covers, Cody grinned. He had an idea. A perfectly grinchy idea. He hustled out of bed and into his clothes, and then he shoved a pair of ski gloves and goggles into his book bag. He'd have to rent skis and poles, he thought, retrieving a cigar box from his dressing drawer. He counted out some of his birthday money, slipped some of the cash into his pocket, and he set his face in a serious expression and went downstairs. "Morning, Dad," he said innocently as he slipped into his place at the table and picked up a glass of juice. "Hey, kid," his father smiled. "What a great day, eh? The sort of day makes you want to play hooky, doesn't it?" Cody swallowed his juice a little too fast. Yeah, Dad, I hadn't even thought of that. You're right. His mom laughed. "Oh, dream on, guys." She glanced at her watch. "Look at the time. Cody, Dad, and I have an early appointment. Do you want us to drop you off at school?" "Yeah, no thanks, Mom. I'll just take the bus." So Cody was already standing at the bus stop at the end of his street when his parents drove by on their way to the real estate office. He smiled and waved, but once their car disappeared around the corner, he stepped behind the tall hedge that grew along the sidewalk. Stashing his books under the bushes, Cody waited until the big yellow school bus rumbled by. He boarded the next city bus for Sugar Dome Ski Lodge. Oh, the lodge was a great place. There was a video arcade on the lowest level, and the snack bar served the best curly fries and hot chocolate in the world. The main hall had a gigantic open fireplace and a fantastic view of Sugar Dome. Cody stood in front of a huge glass wall and gazed up at the sun-drenched mountaintop. Perfectly groomed ski runs snaked upward through the trees. Dozens of brightly dressed skiers zigzagged back and forth down the slopes. "All right," Cody declared to no one in particular. To one side of the run, he could see the alpine tramway that carried skiers all the way to the peak. From where he was standing, the heavy cable that supported each of the silvery gondola cars looked like flimsy thread vibrating in the breeze. For just a moment, Cody felt a strange chill, and the light around him seemed to dim. A sensation of panic gnawed at his stomach, but the creepy feeling vanished as quickly as it had come, and Cody made a beeline for the rental shack. "Hey, Tracy," he called to the tan young man behind the counter. "How about a favor?" "What are you doing here today, Cody?" his friend asked. "Isn't this a school day?" Yeah, but I had a doctor's appointment this morning, so my folks let me take the rest of the day off. I thought maybe you'd let me try those new skis you were telling me about." "Uno momento, por favor. Must pause this thing here. Hello, Caledonia." There, that's much better. "So, think I tried those new skis, Tracy?" Well, Tracy bought Cody's story about a doctor's appointment, and soon Cody was crunching through the snow toward the tram. He waited on the platform with a few other people as the car bumped to a stop. The ground operator unhooked the latch and slid the doors open. The car was large enough for a dozen people. A metal handrail encircled the inside. There was a storage rack attached to the inner roof of the car. "Have a good run," the operator commented pleasantly to the group as he reclosed the doors. When the latch clanged shut, Cody felt the same strange chill he had experienced earlier. And then with a loud hum, the car began its ascent high up the face of Sugardome. Cody studied the other passengers. To his left was an elderly couple in matching blue ski jackets. A woman with a large blonde ponytail and tangerine-colored jumpsuit was talking to an odd-looking man who had a cast on his right wrist. That guy gave Cody the creeps, though. Cody glanced to his right, and he met the gaze of a dark-haired girl about his own age. She was with a man and woman who were most likely her parents. They must be on vacation, Cody thought, smiling shyly at the girl. Boom! A loud noise sounded from somewhere above them. What was that? The girl with the ponytail cried in alarm. Before anyone could answer, there was a grinding sound, and the car lurched back, swinging from side to side. One more bump, and Cody sent hurtling across the car. His head slammed into the handrail, and everything went dark. When Cody came to, everything was still dark. It took him a moment to realize a large blanket had fallen from the rack above his head and covered him. Pushing it aside, he sat up and looked around. The empty car was stopped at the mountaintop station with its doors open. Well, thanks a lot for leaving me here, folks, he muttered to himself. Rubbing the spot where he hit his head, Cody gathered up his equipment and stepped out of the car. The platform was empty. I guess the others were in a hurry to get out and didn't see me in there, he thought. Cody stepped into his skis and glided across the packed snow next to a man getting ready to start down the hill. It looks great, doesn't it? Cody observed. The man took off without saying a word. Cody made a face. Setting his own poles, he pushed down until he felt his skis sliding forward. The crisp air felt wonderful as he picked up speed. By skiing to an uncrowded rope lift about midway down the slope, Cody was able to ride up and ski down several times. He was enjoying himself so much he forgot all about the dull throbbing in his head. Cody was heading across the hill when a patch of orange in the trees caught his eyes. Crunching the edges of his skis in the snow, he stopped. A figure in a bright tangerine-colored jumpsuit was standing half hidden in the undergrowth at the edge of the run. It was a woman with a blonde ponytail. She was staring right at him. She had some kind of dirt, or maybe a huge dark bruise on one side of her face. The glare from the sunlight made it hard to see into the shadows. He skied in a little closer. What in the... Cody looked this way and that, but he saw nothing but pine trees. The woman was gone, vanished. He turned back toward the run and almost bumped into a man standing beside him. A broken cast hung from the fellow's right wrist, and he held his head at an odd, tilted angle. The man opened his mouth as if to speak, but nothing came out. In frustration, he reached out and gripped one of Cody's ski poles. Hey, let go! Were you nuts? Cody yelled. He yanked the pole away and took off down the hill. Upset by the man's strange behavior, Cody stuck to the middle of the slope. He decided not to make another run. When he got to the bottom, hey, thanks, Tracy, he called out to his friend as he set the borrowed equipment against the wall in the rental shack. Engrossed in what appeared to be a serious conversation on the house phone, Cody's friend Tracy didn't even look in his direction. Oh my God, Tracy said into the receiver. When did it happen? Does anybody know who was in it? When did what happen? Cody wondered as he shuffled back outside. The day was becoming overcast and breeze had turned icy. The interaction with the bizarre guy had made him nervous. He jingled some quarters in his pocket and walked toward the video arcade. Inside, the noise and crowd made him feel a little bit better. Taking up a place at one of his favorite games, Invasion Force from Alpha 5, he dropped a quarter in the slot. Yes, he exclaimed when he had downed the last alien spacecraft. Then something drew his attention from the game. The dark-haired girl from the cable car was leaning against the far wall, watching his every move. The commotion of the arcade faded to a soft buzz. It was almost as if everyone else in the room was dissolving away. All they could see was the dark-haired girl's coal-black eyes. What's going on? Cody said aloud. He closed his eyes and opened them again. The girl was gone. Cody gasped in disbelief, but she had simply vanished. Confused and frightened, Cody tried to refocus on the game, but when he shifted his gaze, his heart leapt with terror. Standing behind him, reflected on the glass screen, was the scowling face of the man in the cast. Stunned, Cody saw the image reach out toward him. In panic, he dodged the outstretched fingers and bolted for the door. Once outside, he raced toward the main hall entrance and skidded to a halt. The elderly couple he had first seen on the tramway stood glaring down at him from a huge window wall. The blue jackets were stained with dark red blood. Turning on his heels, Cody dashed along the now slushy path, splattering clumps of wet snow as he ran. Tracy! Tracy! He gasped out as he burst through the doorway of the rental shack. Tracy, I don't know what's going on, but I need your help, man. But the young man ignored his friend Cody. Oh, I can't believe it, Tracy said softly to another man who was leaning against the counter. Jeez, he was in here only a couple hours ago. Tracy! Cody screamed. He can't hear you. Cody snapped his head up to see the man with a cast standing in the open doorway. One by one, the other passengers stepped into the shadowy room. Cody looked from one to the other. We can't leave without you, boy, the man whispered. The boy cringed and covered his eyes. No, I don't believe you. No, I'm going to open my eyes. You'll all be gone. This isn't really happening. As he spoke, Cody felt the ground grow cold. He opened his eyes and he found that he was kneeling in the snow near a pile of twisted metal and broken glass that had once been a cable car. High above snapped a cable twisted in the wind. Painfully, he watched as a stretcher was loaded into a special ambulance. The small body on the stretcher was completely covered with heavy plastic material. Man, it's so heartbreaking, isn't it? A nearby paramedic noted sadly. I know this kid's parents, too. Yeah, they probably think he's in school. Backing away, Cody sensed that the others were near him. He looked up into the eyes of the man he'd been so afraid of, but all fear was gone now. It's time to leave, Cody, the man said simply. Another cable car slowly appeared. The doors slid silently open. Cody watched the ambulance pull away and then stepped into the car. The doors closed, and the car faded into the gathering mist. You've just heard tonight's story from Storylink Radio's Countdown to Halloween 2023. Remember to come back for our next tale. Many more stories of all genres available to listen to and read along with now on our website at www.storylinkradio.com. Visit our YouTube channel at youtube.com/storylinkradio. And visit our podcast for easy mobile listening anywhere, anytime. Just search for Storylink Radio on your favorite podcast provider. Oh, and don't forget to hit the subscribe button and click that alert bell for Storylink Radio.